In early 2009, widespread anger throughout the island nation of Madagascar forced the government out of power. 70% of Madagascar's 20 million population live in poverty, and rumours of a deal with Korea's Daewoo Logistics to turn half the country's arable land into South Korea's breadbasket had moved the Malagasy people to mass protest. The new president, Rajoelina, declared that constitutionally Madagascar's land was not for sale, nor was it for rent. Not to foreign corporations, anyhow. In fact, reform focused on providing land rights for Madagascar's rural poor had been well underway since the inauguration of the National Land Tenure Plan, or PNF, which began in May 2005. And this is now being implemented with increased urgency to ensure that those who work their land have the opportunity to prove right of ownership over it by registering for a certificate. By late 2011, across the entire country, over 61,500 land certificates had been awarded. And here in the west of Madagascar, in the provinces of Menabe and Melaky, the UN's International Fund for Agricultural Development, or IFAD, has been working with the government of Madagascar since 2006 to boost both the work of the PNF and more generally to bolster the failing agricultural economy by improving techniques and access to market through a program called AD2M. All of this land has now benefited from extensive improvements to its canal systems. And that irrigation means that production is rising, which has resulted in an inward migration of farmers to the area, looking to take advantage of this potential. As the improved techniques add value to the farming, so the need for ownership or leaseholds to be legitimised increases. While being plentiful and often highly fertile, farmers are reluctant to invest time and money into land which is not legally theirs to use. This is particularly the case for these farmers who are not from the area but have migrated here recently, attracted by the developments that AD2M has brought about.
Ambotomahy Rasoja. Di avy any faritra Ambotofinandrana no misy ana. Di araka voalaza teo izay dia hoe noho ny aty zany tena mamokatra tsara le tany aty. Tany aty moa zany tena le zezika zany tsy mila zezika zao aty. Tsy mila zezika aty. Fa manahaka anay zany namboly tany ambony zany anay zao tany amin'ny faritra Rasoja, tanimboly kely dia taonanao zezika anaovana inona dia asa be dia be. Indrisika anay no aty.
Rasoja estimates that before AD2M, he would expect a yield of 700 or 800 kilos of beans per hectare. With the improved techniques of planting in lines and working the land more efficiently, as taught by the program, Rasoja has seen a significant increase in those yields.
Mahatratra 250 kilao. Zany zany eo amin'ny 2 tonnes, 1 tonne 200. Dia misy aza mihoatra an'izay ny sasany. Misy mahavita any amin'ny 400 kilao any, 1 tonne 400 zany. Misy mihoatra an'izay aza. Dia ny zavatra tena hitanay tena misongadina zany madio le masomboly, tena madio tsara satria vita traite fanafody inona. Dia misy fiavahany mihitsy le olona sasany manko le manodidina, misy namboly netimpaharazana tsy nagnaraka la ligne. Dia rehefa tao zany tonga ny atsena, tonga le collecteur mpividy reny, tsy mitovy le vidiny tsaramaso. Misy elanelany eo amin'ny 100, 200.
Increases like this have meant that the value of land has risen, and the AD2M program recognises that the farmers investing their efforts in that land need to have the right to ownership over it.
Malalaka be le tany dia manomboka mihatery satria mitombo le mponina mahita le fambolena mety tsy dia voatery tsaramaso rehetra fa na ny tsako ary ato tena mety, na ny tongolo ary ato tena mety be dia mety be. Feo mivary moa.
Indeed, such is the importance of land tenure in this area that the aim to register over 3,000 certificates is an entire subcomponent. 13 land registry offices have been established and equipped by the AD2M project. while at national level the PNF now has 416 operational land offices. And government efforts to communicate the importance of land registration are getting through to those who need those services. It's here that bean farmer Rasoja has come to request a certificate, as has retired teacher Justin.
Nefa tamin'ny 1980 zany no natongavako teto fa aminay mpampianatra moa zany le affectation matetika ohatrany hoe tsy dia matoko tena ny tena hoe hifahatra amin'ny toerana anankiray dia ohatrany hoe rehefa hita fa hoe efa ela mipetrahana teto tsy affecté otrony satria efa akaiky le retraity zay zany mbola nieritreeritra hoe andeha angatangatany anaovana trano satria le zazy efa tamana tena koa moa fa be rahateo.
For those who are not originally from the area, land registration is an important step in legitimising their presence, as well as legalising it, as is the case for Justin.
Folo taona mahery izy mipetraka teto dia nefa izy mbola tsy narenetreritra hoe hanoratra ny taniny any amin'ny domaine fa mbola niaina tamin'ny taratasy fanekena foana ny vidianana azy dia izao zany izy vao tapa-kevitra izy hanoratra azy ato.
Tena tany mpanjakana tsisy toko izy io ka tena azo atao karatany mihitsy tsy na titre zany.
Tonga teto Monsieur Justin mba te hanoratra ny taniny izy dia tonga teto dia rehefa nijerena ny taniny dia tsy ao anatin'ny titre sady tsisy tompony fa ao anatin'ny tanim-panjakana azo soratana dia soratana ny taniny dia nahazo karatany izy.
The process of certification is thorough and starts with the PLOF, or Local Land Occupation Plan, where land usage is agreed and plotted by the local community. The process of drawing up these plans is an essential element of implementation. The process also requires the public display of requests in case anyone wants to contest the application. And surveys of the land are carried out so that the plot can be registered accurately. This transparency is very important, as Justin points out.
Izy aloha zany hoe zavatra tsapako raha ohatra hoe le tombontsoa azo amin'le guichet foncier dia tety aminay zany le fananatany dia olana be satria matetika izy io no hifamonoan'olona le tikatra tena mifamono mihitsy zany le poniny le tikatra vokatra an'le fidiavana tany zany ka fisian'le guichet foncier eto zany dia ohatrany hoe tena nanafaka an'izay zavatra izay.
Akamarony tany eto faritra miandro vasity aloha dia zay presque tanina vazaha foana dia efa vitavita titre dia misy olana dia avy ety sokotamy mamiditra koa le mamboly parakrety dia ohatrany lasalasa ny sokotamy aby le tany dia tena tsy mazava aminay marina hoe aiza ary le tena tany azo soratana amin'ity faritra ty aiza hatramin'izao dia tsy fantatra intsony dia manano sarotra ohatrany matahotra anay le hanoratra.
But once locals overcome that hesitancy, the advantages of registering the land are all too apparent, as Menabe points out.
Manoratra tany amin'ny anarana izy tombontsoa voalohany indrindra dia tsy azo mizaniza amin'ny tany iny izy anazo feno iny dia faharoa namindrana vola izy dia azo atao antoka ny karatany dia azo lovain'ny taranaka mapara koa ny karatany.
Land registry is just one aspect of the AD2M programme, and with improved agriculture in a climate of greater security, farmers can now think on a bigger scale and aim at marketing their produce on a more permanent basis.
Zany hoe le vokatra io zany aty misy mpividy ihany aty foana satria amin'ny fotoana ny fiakaran-tsaramaso aty dia zareo Atsirabe zany Atsirabe moa zany tsy miakatra ny tsaramaso agny amin'ny volana O reny fa amin'ny volana O zany fiakaran-tsaramaso aty volana O, septambra, faraparan'ireny oktobra dia miakatra amin'iny izy zany any Atsirabe reny zany efa tsisy intsony ny tsaramaso agny.
The PNF's land registry offices will continue their work not only to manage certification of land ownership, but by providing a range of services, including the managing of land leases, providing secondary rights, particularly for farmers drawn to areas such as here on Madagascar's west coast. By the time it closes in 2014, the AD2M project aims to have benefited over 40,000 households in the two regions of Menabe and Melaky, here on the west coast of Madagascar.